Alright, so today I want to show you some of the ball pythons that I'll have available at the upcoming shows. The next show is in just 3 weeks. I'm really excited about it, and that is Reptilian Nation here in Denver, Colorado, June 8th and 9th, 2019. And then the following week, right after that, is Denver Repticon. I'll be vending at both shows, selling some snakes. And what I really wanted to do today is go through some of the ball python hatchlings that I have from last year that I'll be selling at the shows. And let me tell you, these snakes, they're getting pretty big. They're getting some weight on them, and I decided pretty much I'm just going to sell them all at the show instead of holding some of them back. This crazy snake is going all over. And actually, we're kind of right in between my holdbacks from last year and some of the hatchlings from this year. So I have some eggs that I just cut just the other day. We peeked inside, and it looks like on my first clutch I'll have 5 bamboos, like this big bamboo going all over the place. This is the father. And then I'll have, looks like 5 or 6 normals. They'll all be 50% het caramel albino. So I may or may not have some of those brand new hatchlings at the show, depending on when they come out of the egg and if I can get some rodents into them. Usually I like at least 3 rodents, preferably at least 6 rodents, you know, for their first meals before I sell them at the shows. So stay tuned on those. But what I'm going to do today is go through all of my older ball pythons that I have from last year that I'll be selling at the show. Right, so here is my first snake. This is a male pastel bamboo, and look at how beautiful that snake is. I just gave him a little bit of water so he's a little bit wet, but he's a really good looking snake. And really, I haven't really decided on the prices on these, and if you're interested in buying one, I'm not really gonna hold any of them. If you want to, you're 100% sure you see a snake and you want it, probably the best thing to do would be to get VIP and get in the door right away, so you're one of the first people in the door, so you can get a chance at buying one of these snakes, because I know they can go pretty fast. All right, so here's another snake. This is a Lemon Blast scaleless head female. This is a really high expression scaleless head, and originally I was going to hold these back. If nobody buys these, I'm going to actually breed these. They'll probably up to breeding size here in another year and a half. They're doing really well. She's eating really good. She just had a rodent, so I'm not going to handle her too much, but she is going to be up for sale. This is what she looks like on the bottom. Really good looking snake. Let's take a look at this beauty. This is a female scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. Look at how big she's getting. She's a really good looking snake. She's definitely a scaleless head. You can see on her head she is missing some scales. So you breed 2 scaleless heads together and you will get a totally scaleless ball python. That's what everyone's shooting for. Really good investment quality animal. And this is really, this girl looks like she's going to be breeding size no time at all. All right, take a look at this one. This one was originally called the King Tut until we figured out it was actually a female. So it's kind of like the Queen Tut. This is the Lemon Blast bamboo, and you can see it kind of has the hieroglyphics on the side. It almost looks like it's made of metal. It is a really wild looking snake. That would be a really powerful breeder. So here is a male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino, and kind of my idea on this was to actually have 2 of them, breed them together, and hopefully I could get the completely scaleless caramel albinos. And you know, you're taking a 50% chance on each one of these to be het caramel albino. There's really no markers as far as telling which ones are het and which ones are not, but this guy is definitely going to be up to breeding size in no time at all. All right, so take a look at this beauty. This is a pastel scaleless head female. This one is probably getting really close to being close to breeding size. She probably won't be ready this year, but I'd say definitely the following year. The way this girl's eating, she's got a pretty high expression scaleless head. That would be a really awesome addition. So here's another one. This is another female scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. Has a little bit slower of a start. She doesn't have quite the size of the other ones. Some of them I actually fed a little bit lighter at the beginning, and some of them I was actually going to hold back. I was feeding them heavier. So in the end, it doesn't really matter because she'll definitely catch up. She's eating some really decent sized rats now. She actually, it looks like she had 2 big rats, so she's growing really fast. That is a pretty awesome snake. So here's another one. This is a male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. These are really awesome snakes. And the interesting thing is you can see there's definitely some little bit of flaming on the sides. The pattern is definitely reduced a little bit. It's interesting just with the normal scaleless head how it kind of changes and intensifies the pattern, kind of really brightens it up, gives a little highlighting through here. It definitely looks a lot brighter and cleaner than a typical normal. So here's one of the coolest snakes that I produced last year. This is a male calico bamboo. And look at the crazy patterns on that snake. He is a really awesome snake. And I was originally thinking of holding this guy back, but I do have the parents, the calico pastel female and the bamboo male, so I may just go ahead and shoot for another one of these and sell it this year. This is a really stunning snake. So here is one of probably the most popular snakes that everyone wanted to handle. All the kids wanted to hold this one. This is a female lesser bamboo. It's a blue-eyed leucistic complex. It has a little bit of a yellow right down the middle of the snake, which really intensifies the pattern. It's not like a blaze white. I really like the yellow going down the middle. It really makes it unique. And if you bred this with any snake, half the babies are going to come out bamboo and half will come out lesser. So here's another male pastel bamboo, and this one is really interesting because it looks like it's a little bit more yellow. I think it has a more like a brighter line of pastel in it. And then it also has, if you see here, it has this kind of a almost like gray speckling on the sides, which is really interesting. I haven't really seen it in another snake, and it almost looks like there might be something else in there. I don't believe there's, you know, I know for sure there's nothing else on purpose in there, but it looks like there might be something in there, maybe kind of a dinker project if you're looking for something to see if it'll actually prove out genetically. It's pretty interesting. So here's another lemon blast scaleless head female, and this one is in deep shed. You can see how the colors really kind of fade out when they're in deep shed. This is a really high contrast scaleless head. This would be a really powerful breeder, really good looking snake. So look at this boy. This is a male pastel bamboo, and look at the size on this one. This one's grown like a rocket, and I'd say this is probably got the body size, would probably easily be ready this fall to breed with your females. That one's pretty much ready to go right out of the chute. So this one is the male lesser bamboo. I have a male and a female bright white snakes with just a little bit of yellow right down the top. Really good looking snakes. And of course all the kids always want to hold these lesser bamboos. Probably the most stunning snake in my collection. So this is another male scaleless head, 50% het caramel albino. Really good looking snake. And the interesting thing on these is they have really interesting belly patterns. If you can actually see the belly, look at that crazy belly pattern. I think it's the scaleless head that really brings it out. And you can definitely tell he's got some pretty high expression scaleless head going on there. Nice looking snake. So last but not least, this is just a straight male bamboo, looking really good. And it seems like the straight bamboos really pop. I think they're one of the most impressive morphs just as a standalone morph. These are really beautiful snakes. The bellies are usually clear. And this is, I'd say that is definitely going to be a size that you could breed this fall. All right, so there you have it. Those are the snakes that I'll have at the shows for sure. And let me tell you, sometimes they can go really fast, and sometimes I sit on them for a while. I remember the last show, there were so many people buying stuff off the shelves that I didn't really have enough to fill my whole display cases. It was pretty crazy. And some people saw one of these videos and wanted to buy a snake, and when they got there, they were all sold out. So the earlier you can get there, the better if you have something in mind. And keep in mind too, this fall I'll also have some other stuff hatching out. So, you know, some people missed the coral glows last year. I'll definitely have some coral glows this year, maybe with some pinstripe or some pastel pinstripe mixed in with the coral glow. That'll be pretty cool. And some het desert ghost stuff, some het pied stuff, but all that stuff probably won't be ready until the show in the fall. So these snakes will be at the next two shows. If you're interested, I kind of like to give people a sneak peek at what's kind of coming up. And then I might throw in some extras. I know I'll have some room in my display cases, I may throw in some of my adult female normal ball pythons and start phasing out some of my normals. So I might have some of that stuff. May have some other stuff that I may or may not have available. Thinking about phasing some stuff out, but you'll have to see at the show if I have anything else in my display case. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at the show, and I'll see you in the next video.